10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Complexities turn to ban. Radiant team pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Star Ladder I-League Star Series Season 2 American Qualifiers. I gotta say, I'm completely, totally, utterly excited to be bringing you this game today. I'm Lyrical, joined today by Ryu. Sir, we got Complexity facing off against Digital Chaos, the rematch blast from the past that we had yesterday, their best of 5 series, and it's back at it again. How you feeling?
I'm good, man, and I was just listening to them or watching them, as I was saying, during the thing, and they're just like, they're gonna be playing so many games against each other. They're like, can we just play 10 games right now against each other and just get all of them out of the way? Because, yeah, probably EG gets invited to everything nowadays. He's already gonna be most of the finalists for a lot of the final tournaments in America right now, Digital Chaos as well as Complexity, for the foreseeable future here in the next 2-3 months until after TI, when there might be a big reshuffle again. But until then, these are the top dogs besides EG right now.
Yeah, I would say that Shazam are also up there, but the results haven't always proven themselves out to be in their favor. DC have been the ones that have been able to knock them out of the picture fairly consistently. And we talk about sort of an evolving meta as it goes. Every single time in the best of 5 that we saw last time around, Digital Chaos banned out the Bounty Hunter and the IO first. Now Complexity come back, and instead of banning out the Beastmaster and Lone Druid, they ban out the Invoker and the Phoenix, and that leaves open with them having second pick to get the Beastmaster and the Lone Druid, which were 2 other hotly contested heroes in that series. Also, the Doom going to be taken by DC, and I really got to say that I feel like Complexity came out a little bit ahead in terms of the way that this draft works, because you've got the Doom on one side, great, all hunky-dory, but then what are you going to do to a Lone Druid? You're just going to Doom the bear? You're going to Doom the hero? Maybe you end up being able to hit a solid initiating hero with the Beastmaster and take him out of the fight early, but I think that this has been a pretty good response after the 5 games that these teams have already played against each other.
Yeah, I would say right now it's 80% favored for Complexity and 20% for Digital Chaos, because they're gonna pick Beastmaster and Lone Druid, or they're gonna pick Beastmaster and Lycan and countered the way that they want to play. I mean, all you have to do is Lycan ulti, get your Necro books online, and then Doom's pretty much a useless hero at that point. You can't Doom the Lycan and do anything. Same situation for the Lone Druid now, where it's like you Doom the bear, that does nothing. So I would say Complexity CM is very squishy. It does help out early on against the Lone Druid Bear or the Beastmaster with his boar and everything, but at the end of the day, this is a very squishy hero against their lineup, so we'll have to see how things are going to be rounded out next, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth just repeating that the last games when these 2 teams faced off against each other, Phoenix won the game every time it was picked. Invoker, a pretty big issue, but not the biggest in the world. And I think that the reason that Complexity ended up banning it out is because they realized, this is a hero that they can run to a little bit later on in the draft. Let's take it out right now and ensure that since we have second pick, we'll get at least 2 of these really strong heroes. And I think until Digital Chaos prove that they're willing to ban something other than a Bounty Hunter IO first, this is probably going to be par for the course for the second pick team, whoever it ends up being. But now also the other bans that are starting to come out, it's going to be the Oracle as well as that Life Stealer. So a couple of heroes that can be a bit of an issue. I think that if they didn't want to take the Life Stealer themselves, it makes sense to ban it, and it's not really, it's pretty tough, I feel like, to play Life Stealer against Doom.
I think in certain situations, Life Stealer can just go rampant, and it's in the Life Stealer versus the Lone Druid in lane. You just get Feast level 2, even sometimes you get level 3, and then Lone Druid, even if it roots you, it does absolutely no damage, and you can heavily outlast a Lone Druid at times as long as you have a little bit of help there. But in this game, it looks like Lone Druid is either going to be should be handled in the safe lane, or could potentially be offlane Beastmaster support. I mean, there's a lot of potential for complexity to still do different things here. Lifestealer ban, Bat Rider ban, it's pretty good. But interesting to note too is like yesterday was 5-0. While you're kind of seeing it banned out there, and also Invoker was 3-1. So like you talked about earlier, both of these teams know how to play Invoker, and they're exceptional with the hero.
No, totally. I mean, even Resolution plays it really well, as did Chessie in the last set of games. But yeah, the other bands that are coming out as well, it's going to be the Bat Rider and that Dazzle, a hero that I feel like we might see. I'm not sure if DC play it a ton, but it's been in the Chinese scene a lot. Is the Weaver, the sort of classic combo to deal with the lone druid. You get in behind the bear man, and you're able to get a couple of quick hits onto him. It's pretty easy to take down the lone druid if you end up playing that hero. I don't know if we're going to see him though, but it feels like with the CM already in tow, there's certainly that option, or if they wanted, they could just go right on back for the Juggernaut. But it's going to be the Rubik Taken for complexity. This is a hero that we've seen a little bit more play recently. Do you think it was just the buff to the null field where you get up to 10% magic resistance with level 1, or is it just the meta and the way that it's evolved that's made him sort of come back more into style?
I think he's always been a great hero to have, just because of his lockdown early on. His Fade Bolt is very underrated, how it takes away a lot of the enemy hero damage, and Rubik is one of those heroes that is going to, no matter what, stealing any of the spells in a game can be game changing, like a Lion Hex or the Earth Spike, where you can hit it on 3 or 4 heroes. Doom in this game. And there's just tons of moments where Rubik is just reliable in all this. You saw like Binge being picked up at times, or just Doctor, right? You just want to have a reliable stun for some team fights and stuff. But oh yeah, oh yeah,
You feeling pretty good about that one? This is a pretty cool hero right here.
this could be. Need to start thinking about ways to counter Tinker. I'm not saying Tinker is necessarily going to be picked up here next, but Elder Titan is one of those heroes that, coupled with the Tinker, is very scary to deal with, because you can TP onto that Astral Spirit at any given moment, and the setup is just absurd with his stun. This hero is really good against the Lone Druid Bear, because he's sieging the tower constantly. So what do? You just stomp him, and then that sets you up for a lot of position to kill the bear, or in a lot of situations. But complexity, what do they want to pick here now? This is going to tell us a lot. This is going to tell us if they're going Beastmaster off lane and Lone Druid safe lane. They'll probably pick a support right now. A good support in this situation could be...
You think that they would run the
Avenge.
Beastmaster in like the 4 position, with Rubik being that hard 5 potentially?
I said that, but that's
Okay.
why we don't know.
Yeah.
I'm more leaning towards, because they banned out supports, that it will be a Lone Druid safe lane
Okay.
and a
Mirana mid.
Beastmaster in the off lane, or vice versa. Yeah, Mirana mid. Could be a roaming duo too. Rubik and Mirana is kind of scary, but yeah, I would lean more toward the Mirana mid.
Very interesting. Well, Digital Chaos now, one of the other heroes that we sometimes see paired with ET would be the Slardar, just again, as you're talking about, another hero that sets up those good stuns. But now that I'm looking at it, it's certainly going to either be the Doom or the ET in the offlane position. And instead, we're going to be going back for the Alchemist. Very interesting. So, Weeha mid Alchemist, I'm assuming. This to me feels like it could be pretty cool. You've got the damage amplification that you're going to be able to get with the Elder Titan, so naturally Radiance as well as those right clicks are going to be doing that much more damage, and then you sort of have the other nice little combo there, which is going to be giving all these Aghanim Scepters these heroes in the late game. I mean, ET to me is one of the perfect examples of a hero that his Aghanim Scepter is, he never wants to buy it for himself, but it's actually pretty cool. Like the 5-second disarm, is that what it is? Up to 6-second disarm.
It's like 6 or 7 actually. I think it got buffed even more. It could be 5, but I think it's like 6 or 7. And yeah, like you talked about, you don't want to buy it first on ET. Normally when you go, Yules is really good on the hero, like Tranquils into maybe Urn and Yules or something. And then you just set up a lot of stomps that way. Yule somebody, Astral Stomp. Really nice combo. 4-staff for mobility. But now with this Alch pick too, you can ban AA now for Digital Chaos. So you're just like, okay, well, our only threat this game could be potentially that AA and the team fights. They're gonna most likely ban it here for Digital Chaos, and then Complexity are gonna still ban out a carry hero. Gyrocopter, another controller.
Interesting.
I think Weaver, yeah, like you talked about, Weaver is really good here for Digital Chaos. And sure, Rubik could have a field day stealing his Sakuchi, but
10
I think
seconds.
Lincoln's hero is always nice against the Beastmaster Roar. We've seen Ags, Alchemist, unkillable. Literally
Yeah.
unkillable.
It's wonderful if you're capable of doing that. And you mentioned it, there it is right there. The ancient apparition going to be manned out. The other hero that we could end up seeing. Well, I think that the Weaver feels good. It doesn't have to be. Maybe if they wanted to, you try and take another hero that's going to be able to create a little bit of space for that Alchemist in the mid game. One dynamic that we didn't talk about a ton is if Alk does go back for that Radiance, which I feel like we always see. Then you have the need to be a little bit careful about taking off the sleep with it from the Elder Titan. But it's just going to be the Clinks. Another decent hero, I feel like, for dealing with Lone Druid. You're able to do much of the same thing, just not as intensely as the Weaver does in lane.
10
For sure. Clinks is one of those heroes that just online way sooner than Weaver, where once he gets his level 6, he just goes around the map constantly pressuring. So I said at the beginning of this game, like 80-20 complexity, you know, the first two.
Mm.
Twenty-five, 25, and I think they're going to win this game, but could be wrong. Complexity can still outplay them, of course, but we'll have to see how this goes. But they're looking pretty good so far for Digital Chaos.
It's interesting to me because I felt like they were going to try and run that Mirana in the mid lane, and we could honestly be wrong that was never really the intention for them. But if it was, then now they ended up going back and switching around their lanes a little bit. I like the response from Complexity, I've got to say, with taking that Dragonite, because it means he's going to be in the mid lane, it's Beastmaster in the off lane, then you got Lone Druid safe. So you're going to make sure that none of your lanes can be really heavily pressured, and that's going to allow Z Freak as well as the Rubik here, Mr. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot Hanskin's name. I'm the worst commentator ever. That's going to allow them to roam around a lot and make stuff happen. Z-Freak is going to run into Moo and get a little bit of some body block action going on. He's in trouble. He's actually going to have to take leap first, I think. Maybe.
Maybe.
Double back. Look at that.
I still got to take leap if he stops.
Oh, wow. Well, he got away.
Moo could have leveled up Infernal Blade and got first blood. 100%. But he decided it's more important for me to eat a creep early on. And it's debatable, right? Like, what would you rather have, first blood or the reliable creep? So we'll have to see how it works out. He defended at stack, so good for the DC side.
Yeah, a pretty great start already, and it does look like Reza's going to come and try and contest Limp. Already taking the Dragon's Blood, so no chance at a tail to get that stun off, and with that we're going to end up seeing ET take the Bounty Rune as well. So across the board, fairly even. That does mean that Weehaw doesn't get one. The bear was over there trying to mess around with them a little bit, and a little bit frustrating, but certainly not the worst thing in the world.
He'll still have a nicely timed, soul ring here in the mid lane. It's against the Dragonite too, so it'll be easy for Weehaw to be in this lane. All he has to do is make sure he can last hit under the tower. That'll be his hardest task, but he's got a Quelling Blade, so it shouldn't be that hard.
I love this response too by Z-Freak here. He had to go for that leap first, as we talked about. Really frustrating, but as a team, Complexity said, all right, we're going to stick Swindles in the jungle for a little bit, let him get a couple of levels, and then we're going to end up making sure that Mirana is able to get off to a good start. Meanwhile, Rubik is going to head over here pulling. Again, a little bit unfortunate that that's the way it had to start, but they're making the best of it afterwards. So things going pretty well. Weehaw, again, as you said, shouldn't have too much of an issue, but the one thing that you have to be concerned about is we got a little bit of a pause coming, is Alchemist's ability to last hit in this matchup. It's kind of a frustrating one, just because of that damage reduction you get from the Breathe Fire.
Yeah, it's very annoying, but it's also annoying to stay under Acid Spray constantly for a Dragonite. And I can see a lot of where Dragon Knight should be able to get 1 or 2 denies. That's why you see it right now, because like you're talking about the Fire Breath. But still, as long as Weehawk gets 2 or 3 every wave, he'll still come out on top.
Oh god, the all chatting, it's great. Good stuff coming out, and you heard it, everybody. Go make a Reddit thread. It's time to happen. Please don't cut it. We need to stop complaining, honestly.
Can we just complain on a different platform?
There you go. That's what we do. I think just in-game audio. Or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm over it. It's fine. Saska, meanwhile, mid lane, continuing to be able to go and mess with Limp a little bit. That's one thing that they can do once he gets a couple more levels. With the CM aura, you're going to be able to spam out spells a little bit more than you would otherwise.
CM's not the best synergy with Lone Druid. I guess you could say it's kind of useful for the Savage Roar and stuff to have the mana up all the time, but there's no really big benefactor. I mean, the strength carries are always nice to benefit, but it's no like Storm in the game, no like Queen of Pain, heavy spammer abilities. I guess you could say Dragon Knight does spam with Breathe Fire, but
The Alchemist, yo.
I don't know why I was thinking CM was on the other team. You're supposed to be helping me out here. Misery.
Sorry.
Gonna get the arrow
Misery.
to the face, but he got the haster in already, so he's gonna walk away from this. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking for some reason. He was gonna steal CM aura maybe with the Rubik.
There it is.
No, he can't
That's
do
how
that.
you work.
No, he can't do that. Just saving it. Saving me, I'm done.
It's all good.
Top,
Well,
lift up.
Are you gonna find this? I mean, he's a pretty tanky dude. He does have the net, and it's gonna get sort of whittled down a little bit. Moo is in a lot of trouble and doesn't pop Scorched Earth as of yet.
Yeah, that was. He could have popped Scorched Earth, turned on Hanskin. Okay, meanwhile, Saska.
Well, looking for it. Swindles takes some damage from that. Z-Freak's gonna be able to run him down and might end up being able to find this. Well, Moo's gonna come back in and oh god, you might need to leap away again, buddy. He actually doesn't have it. Does have an arrow though, and Moo's gonna continue to chase him down. There's the net. Actually has a mango, but Scorched Earth isn't for another 7 seconds, and there's gonna be the arrow drop. It's really actually close, and he's gonna be able to run down Z-Freak potentially. Hanskin comes in, saves the day. Pretty well played there. He actually almost pushed him up onto the high ground. Would have been a little bit suspect.
Block him in. Plays almost real. I wonder if you could actually block somebody in there. That'd be really cool. I know there's a lot of cliffs and stuff that were changed where you can't.
Like in behind the trees, potentially. Would have been the thought there. Well, we're still sitting at 0-0 as far as kills are concerned, but you can see already that Direside are taking kind of a bit of an advantage in terms of the CS front. Beastmaster, he literally hasn't come to lane yet. Like Swindles, he's chilling in the jungle, just trying to get as much as he can there, and he's still 4th highest in terms of the CS. The changes to the board did not really end up doing all that much as far as his jungling potential.
No. And with Mirana rotating around the map, she still didn't stay bottom lane to get any holes. So Z-Freak kind of hurting on that, and he could be gonna force to leap away. Run away, kitty, run.
Well, Alk now in maybe a little bit of trouble if Hanskin does happen to wrap around, but Soxka's going to be there and spots him out, gives him a little, hey, how you doing? Thank you for your time, and now forces him back again. Again, it just seems like DC's heroes are just sort of punishing them across the map. You look here, Z-Freak is being pushed back to his tier 2 tower, and they're already going to be able to start to do the damage onto the tier 1.
Resolution going for A on Swindles. This is really early too, and it would have worked out if Swindles didn't go back to base. And it's not something you see normally. You wait till Clinks is level 6, rotate, but unfortunate, not going to find anybody.
We'll head in mid to see if he can make something happen as well. And Hanskin is here, so this seems like it could be a little bit hard to make work. And as he ends up spotting the Rubik, he realizes he's not going to be able to do it. Heads back home. This has allowed the CM to get some levels, which is always nice. Left to level 4 at this point, but Swindle's going to rotate in. Might be able to catch him here, and does not have his level 6 as of yet. So no luck as far as being able to run him down.
Summons Hawk, immediately gets blasted.
So how do you feel like each of these teams feel about the early game? Are DC getting as much as they would have wanted? Like we talked about their draft being really solid, but as far as the CS is concerned and also just the general laning stage, the experience is definitely starting to shift Complexity's way.
Oh, without a doubt, I think this early game is in DC's favor. Not to say that Complexity aren't going to make moves. They have to make moves in the next time. Oh, are they going to get the bear? Give me that bear. Ah, the Savage Roar.
Sox is still running it down and might be able to find the kill.
Oh.
One more right click. Oh, easy 300 gold.
And the EXP. What the? Why didn't he just summon it? That was greedy TP. But they're going to kill Moo here.
Oh, nicely done. It was all a bait. First blood going their direction. That is going to be the TP out and away, as Elder Titan is not going to want to get caught over there. Meanwhile, things happening down here in the bottom lane. Resolution and Misery is going to start to get lifted back and are going to be able to get a quick and easy kill for it. Swindle's maybe going to go down himself, not going to be able to find it. Also caught there in the sentries, but not slowed down enough to find it. So we end up finding 2 quick kills by Complexity onto DC.
This is really good rotation coming in from Complexity, going for the top tower with the Dragon Knight and then bottom lane. They would have loved to kill, still top lane.
Yeah, they're starting to run down the barrel a little bit. Chessie's somewhat low, but Dragon Tail to back him off. And he talked about it. The mid-tier 1 is also taking some damage as Weehaw is already here and being able to level it against them. 3 heroes still in the bottom lane, man. Just action all over the place. And it does feel like Complexity really want to make something happen.
They have to make it around the map, especially when that. But it's nice to see that they got level 6 on Limp, and then he immediately rotates because he knows he can't push the lane against. Oh, Misery's gonna get roared.
Oh man.
Hey, you can't talk. Just can't talk. Everyone's dead. Last minute.
Oh, well, 7 minutes in and they're doing it. I mean, they're pushing out each of these lanes. You talked about it also. Limp, he's got that level 6. He moved up to the top lane and took down that tower with the help of the lone druid. Like, they've got the heroes to make this work, but they just need to keep the pressure up. And you can see that Misery there, placing down the ward, wanted to try and get whatever vision that he could out so that he wasn't going to end up being taken advantage of, and they're not able to dive resolution. Every little bit of time that he can stay down here and keep this tower alive is just a huge win for them.
Yeah, they just need to make sure they rotate more, make sure they have enough space for Chessie. He just got his Midas and be well on his way towards a Radiance. Normally, and then you have the Alchemist having his armlet already, and now he's gonna go for the Radiance. So this timing window it's normally where Alch will have the Radiance like 6 or 7 minutes before the Lone Druid. I mean, mid lane setting up.
Yeah, I'm going to be able to find Limp. There's the Doom down as well as the Infernal Blade. A lot of damage, and they should be able to run him down. Hanskin actually going to look and able to get the stun onto Misery. Limp is really tanky. Might not be able to go down. Oh, never mind. Moo is here. He's going to be able to right-click him down to death, and the Astral Spirit finishes him off. Going to be able to pull it back now, looking for another one, but there's going to be the roar coming out from Swindles, and already running him down. Tier 1 tower will stand for the moment, and on the other side, they've got a little bit of another battle going on. Z-Freak trying to find his way out of here, trying to run down Resolution, is still in a lot of trouble. They ended up being able to take down the tower, but now might end up losing Weehaw as well. Do they have the Frost Blast to try and turn this back? It doesn't look like it, as Weehaw does end up going down. So the final tally, a tower as well as the Dragon Knight gone for Complexity, but they lost their Alchemist and that Elder Titan.
Yeah, losing Alchemist like that it's a pretty big blow to the side of DC, where he's supposed to have this better timing, completely free farming around the map, and they can go around the map now. They're doing a really good job now for Complexity, setting up everywhere, pushing, pressuring, and at this rate, they'll have a really good opportunity to close this game out before 30 minutes, all things considered. Limp is pressure bottom tower, he's going for that armlet, should have it up soon, so...
Yeah, and I mean, even though the Lone Druid did end up going back for the Hand of Midas and is probably going to be going into the Radiance, this is all just things that allow them to take towers with impunity. It's a lot like that. Oh my god, Arrow hits onto this this Elder Titan. He's going to take a good amount of damage. My god. I don't know if he's actually going to end up going down, though. It doesn't look like it, but still, just keeping him away from this. This is going to allow them to push in this tower again with impunity. There's nothing really to stop them from taking this.
You really need to have Doom right now. But it's on cooldown. Really fast Doom with phase boots at least. And Scorched Earth up. Saksa, the defender, has arrived.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the harder part for complexity of this game. Even if they get maybe 1 or 2 Aegis, how are they going to crack high ground with the ET, with the acid spray? Are they going to be able to do it or not?
Well, and again, even if you're able to shut them out of their own jungle and start trying to take over in that way, it does feel like maybe you can build enough of an economic lead that it puts you in a good position. Is that something that DC need to be worried about? Like if they're hemmed up in their base and they're just defending high ground, are they that worried about it, or do you think that the amount of gold going to the Alchemist just by the nature of his hero is going to be enough that DC feel comfortable just holding high ground?
No, they're comfortable because Complexity's lineup, they heavily rely on Dragon Knight either having a Shadow Blade or a Blink Dagger, plus Beastmaster having a Blink Dagger and his Necro Books, so they're able to kill off the Alchemist while he's split pushing and farming. So right now all they're doing is running 5 heroes or 4 heroes at a tower, because that's Complexity's lineup. Swindles. Getting ping bottom. I mean, we've been watching this for the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Well, he's going to roar, and they also drop out the Moonlight Shadow. Meanwhile, mid lane, it looks like Saksa is going to be initiated on. They get the lift back and get the Fade Bolt, as well as a couple of right clicks coming in from Bearman. And with that, I think the TPs are going to signal them that they need to get the heck out of here. And maybe in a little bit more trouble as they're going to try and burst him down. The bear is not going to fall, though. And it looks like he should be able to get out of there. Yeah, Poussin back. No harm, no foul. They're going to end up being able to get out.
Swindo could be in trouble bottom. I wonder, 1. No, he doesn't have strafe, but still pressuring.
Yeah, just, again, pushing and pulling. I do have to say, I like the vision advantage that Complexity have got. They've got a pretty nice ward there in the jungle. They're going to be able to place one that's behind the tier 1 tower, so they know what they're going to be getting into. And Limp right now with the Invis rune, this could be the time to strike. If they're able to catch up Moo, and there's going to be the Dragon Tail drop, the jump forward. Oh, that hurts.
You have a short leap, Rana. Not that big at level 1, you know. 6 distance. Fortunately, range creep in front.
Well, as far as this Clinks is concerned, normally you want to see this hero find a couple of pickoffs. The DC have to be worried if they're not getting those with this hero, like as far as his acceleration of farm goes?
I think he's just done a really well-balanced job this game. He has the highest CS in the game. He's gone around, tried to make some big plays for his team, and he's farming. So right now, he's at a good spot of what he's been able to accomplish so far for Resolution. And yeah, he can set up for a lot of kills. And once he has the Desolator, the supports are just going to melt. And they have a potential to burst even like Swindles during these situations. You can get off Roar if they have a stun. Bear. Hate.
Oh, there's a Savage Roar. He yells at him and then runs away. Does not want to get taken down, that's for sure. But you talk about it, Clinks, he's almost got his level 11 too, so level 2 Death Pact. He's been able to finish off the Medallion of Courage, the Blightstone in the inventory, and looks like with eyes on the prize, Complex, you're going to head down towards the bottom lane, seeing if they can make something happen here. And actually, Resolution realizes that they end up going into the ulti form, and he's going to back out, and they might end up being able to find something. Well, no, they're not looking for it.
They had a Sentry scouting out Swindles moving mid lane. And every single time they miss these ganks for Complexity, it's more concerning for them because they're on a timer. And they know where Swindles is.
Dust? Alright, he actually ends up just roaring. Soxka is going to end up going down here, and it's going to be the CM ulti. A lot of damage out from Misery, getting a full duration, and it looks like he's already killed off the bear. Might end up being able to bring off more. No, excuse me, he didn't kill off the bear. He is going to fall now, though, and Misery just did so much damage in that fight. He is going to end up going down. Oh, a pretty good deny there. Lone Druid ends up being able to eat him, and Chessie now going to get ran down by Rezo. I don't know if he can find this kill. No, they do have the Astral Spirit and not going to be able to find it. They don't have another Savage Roar, but man, that could have gone a lot worse.
I mean, that was pretty damn bad, actually. Like, Alchemist has his Radiance, wasn't even at the fight. Bundles got off. CM had the best ulti you're ever going to see in a Dota game.
They had to buy back for the ET, though, so that's one thing that was a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, I can understand it's a little frustrating, but that's still really It's going DC's side heavily right now.
Okay.
You can just see the gold graph there, spike, and I'm given. And when your Loden Druid is coming to team fights like that, it's really weird because he's not free farming. He's putting himself in harm's way, not getting all the XP for himself. Swindles is getting hunted.
Oh man, right on top of him here, and this is about as scary as it gets. The stun comes through, and my goodness, he is going to fall. Yeah, I guess I didn't even really think about the fact that that was without Weeha and that engagement at all. They're going to be able to secure him this bounty rune, maybe now. They end up just taking it over for the ET, and ugh, a scary moment indeed. But Complexity look like they want to try and regroup and push this. Is this a desperation play at this point, or do you feel like there's still an okay situation?
Well, their lineup is this. They have to get towers, but it's just not happening. So
Bear is dead for 30, well, 20 now. That hurts when the CM gets the deny. Hanskin gonna fall. My god, that's a lot of hate leveled his way. ET ends up getting the Earth Splitter onto him as well, and Rezo looking for something is gonna be able to find the courier. One quick swat, and it goes down. Oh, DC rolling. That was Necro Book level 2, I want to say. Yeah, level 2.
Necro Book 2 for wait, what?
That was on the courier.
Oh yeah. Weehaw just farming. Give me that deck.
Oh,
Fine.
it's a scary thing. So what's the point here next? Do you just go into the Mantis style, or has the build changed all that much for Alchemist since they nerfed the Grievel's Greed interaction with illusions?
Nah. The only way they can nerf that is if they get 0 gold for the Manta.
Okay.
Else it's just nothing really. It's still a Naga Siren. You're still gonna farm constantly, and then after that, Manta style, Ant style, and Octarine, and then maybe start pooling eggs, or he might still want to go for the AC. I mean, with CM freezing feels like we've seen so far from Misery. No, eggs CM first. Let's do it. I'm ready. It looks like Misery's going for a Blink Dagger potentially too for these high level plays.
He's been playing really well so far. They are going to arrow to try and get a little bit of vision, and Misery needs to be careful because the Hawk is scouting as well, and there's going to be the Necro Books already going out. They throw out the Crystal Nova, slowing down that movement and attack speed. It's only level 2 at this point, but going to be able to get out a big Astral Spirit here as well, and there's going to be the stun to get the initiation off. Maybe going to be able to find a little bit more. Slept up, and Swindles is down. The CM ulti is going a ton of damage, and already Hanskin's going to fall. My god, 3 are dead, and it might end up being more very, very soon. Chessie does not have a bear at this point. He's going to get ran down. This has just been a disaster, this last team fight for Complexity. Oh god, they're going to be able to get the stun over on one side. Doesn't end up being able to connect, and maybe Rezo finds this kill on a Z-Freak one shot, maybe a second. My god, he doesn't have a leap, and he is going to fall. So much damage.
Oh yeah. And now, with Resolution, everyone dead. He's gonna creep and say hello to my friend, Turosh. Who actually take this? I guess Weehaw. You don't really want to give Planks and Aegis because normally when he responds, it'll be Death Pact. Weehaw should take this.
By the way,
that is just, why do you make me look bad? Come on. I honestly still think you should put it on Weehaw, but you know, they can do whatever they want. He's like, I want more item slots probably. I want to keep my Quelling Blade. I want my Soap Mask.
You know, and I gotta say also, we should have known with Misery CM, he goes back for the Midas. He absolutely loves this item, and I don't know how I feel about it completely. Like, this is his hero that he does it with, and he goes like Midas into Sheep Stick sometimes, just because he can, and then you've all of a sudden got a CM with the Sheep Stick at like 35 minutes or something. Maybe it's a little bit later than that, but still, it's just kind of ridiculous when you're able to get that late game item.
Yeah, we don't want to see Misery offlane. We love seeing his support. We love seeing his CM. It's what we like. And this is a good steal though for Rubik. When you're playing the hero, you love to get that Chemical Rage, so you're just tanky, able to stay in the team fights.
You attack faster too. I'm not sure if it's really that significant, but it looks funny at least. I kind of want to see what his model looks like. I haven't seen that before.
I forget. I recently stole it And I'm trying to figure out if you grow a little. I can't remember. I think you do. It's been a while. But yeah, this is the timing where it's like, okay, well, Alchemist got his Radiance 10 minutes ago. Now Chessie has his, but you're 10 minutes slower. You only have 30 less CS than the Alchemist, but he's 6 more than you.
It's a scary proposition indeed, and again, as these Aghanim Scepters might be starting to get pooled after this Manta style is finished off, potentially. I mean, probably still, as you said, going to go Octarine, but Swindle's going to get jumped on. They have the Purge creep, everything. They're farming creeps, and I think that he still does end up falling here, as the Scorched Earth should be enough to finish him off. They tried to get there for the deny, but not quite in time. Oh, that hurts.
This is just looking from bad to worse ASAP. Like, right now, the score 9-6 does not reflect on how bad this game is right now. And let me look at the score. Yeah, 12K net worth right now lead. That's actually like a 25K net worth lead at this stage of the game, because Complexity have to be closing this game out within the next 10 minutes. So it's like 85% not over, but like Complexity need to do something, and it needs to be now. But it's hard because they're constantly split pushing your lanes for DC, and you can't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, you said it right there. You need to do something. You can't do something. It's it's kind of a frustrating situation.
Like, welcome to
be
Naga
in,
again. Miracle. What do we do?
I don't know.
We lose.
We tried. Gaben tried to save us, but we didn't appreciate it in the end. And it does look like with the Smoke Inc. moving forward, they're going to try and secure a tier 2 tower in the top lane. The Bearman is going to head on up here, as does Limp and Z-Freak. If they hit... Oh, God, but there's the scan right away. They realize exactly where they are, and maybe even DC think about taking this engagement. They certainly don't have to. Like, I feel like they could just wait out this for a lot longer, and it wouldn't be that much of a concern for them at all, just building into those later games Aghanim Scepters, but... I don't know. Maybe you get complacent and it goes badly. Shadowblade for Doom. This is the play.
He's basically a Clinks now, where he can just go anywhere on the map and kill anyone. So you have 2 Clinks on your teams and $1 million man. What recipe for...
Well, and again, a little bit of a contentious point. Weeha's going to TP in and head up front and center. Mana Style is available if he needs to use that to take stuff off of him. And it looks like they're going to be ready to take this tier 2 tower. A very important fight. If
oh my
this
god,
goes
the
wrong,
bear.
oh my god, the bear is so low. My goodness, Rezo does end up getting hit there, but still does have the Aegis, not too afraid about going down. Weeha continues to hit away at the tower. The damage is just so significant, and now gonna try and chase down Swindles, doesn't quite connect, and they're gonna be able to finish off that Necronomicon Archer. But a tier 2 tower eaten up by the Radiant.
Yep, and still have time. They have 40 seconds left before the Aegis expires. They just got the BKB for resolution, and they're making this broken play. But yeah, Misery did go back for that Blink Dagger for the positioning thing. They scout out Swindles 1, 2, great.
Oh, he is going to end up going down there. He's alive on 38 HP. If they can find this kill, this would be absolutely huge, and they're just going to have to push him back for the moment. Chessie taking a lot of damage over on the other side. Sasuke was able to find the kill. ET doing a ton with that Earth Splitter. Limp just trying to go for the Armlet toggle, but not nearly enough. He gets doomed up in the corner, brought down, and it looks over here to the side like they might end up losing Handskin as well, trying to TP away. A bold effort, but in the end, not nearly enough. And that was the smoke play that they needed. They had to make that one work, but Rezo scouting it out, and it looked for a second there like Swindles was maybe looking ahead, and because of that, didn't spot that his smoke had been broken behind enemy lines.
Yeah, the only way I see Complexity winning the game right now is Weehaw buying an item, and he doesn't have buyback. And then Complexity can then, you know, with all their pro books, their heavy push. Oh my god, bottom dead.
Moo literally shadow bladed under the tower, just trying to run it through the Mirana.
Yeah,
like, I can see you, I'm coming for you. He gets a little bit of that, obviously, the bonus movement speed, but still, it's funny to look at.
Well, game is hard. Game is definitely hard. Game is stomped on Limp. Nope, miss.
Not quite there as of yet. Yeah, it's a real problem here, and you know, Alchemist keeping a hold of that value Quelling Blade, but also does have the Octarine core now, so pretty freaking tanky and capable of doing a ton of damage. They're gonna sort of, you know, dot their T's and cross their I's, as the saying goes. I'm sure that's how it goes, is the tier 2 tower is going to fall in the bottom lane. And the Crimson Guard into the Silver Edge now. Man, Doom is so stacked too. And just everywhere he goes, Resolution looking to try and find a pickoff. He does need to be a little bit careful about sentries.
Yeah, it's just that we're at that point, this game, Lyrical, where it's just like we're grasping at straws to try and help complete. This sentry, though, will kill Misery, but when you're killing only the CM, the last 2 engagements, there's a damn big problem on your side.
Well, one thing you could say is that the tier 2 tower goes down for Swindles. He's going to keep pushing this. They need to come and respond, I would imagine. Oh, God, they also need him for the fight, though. Like, yeah, and they're going to bring one back. So this creates a little bit more time for them, as the Elder Titan did end up coming back home. So it's a good play again. Complexity trying to buy as much time as possible. I just don't know also if with more time they end up taking a better fight either. It's such a terrible catch-22 to be caught in.
All right, we just have to look side, click their heroes. I just clicked them all. We have 1 smoke on Rubik, and we have 1 smoke.
Oh, that was really close to a touch play. If Swindles had just been a little bit closer with that dust, it would have been a kill onto the Clinks. Like, again, Complexity are looking for any opportunity here to find this pickoff, and they realize that the game is not completely out of reach. Like, again, as you said, if they push very rapidly, if they're able to win one team fight and then build some of that momentum.
Yep, but it's not going to be easy.
No.
Not going to be easy at all. And I don't think DC is going to make any mistakes this game, so at this rate, you're going to have to prepare for Complexity, and we're going to have to start thinking now, Lyrical, like, what is going to be the perfect situation for Complexity to win a team fight? You're going to have to find a way to lock down Clinks, I think, because you're not going to be able to most likely get Alchemist or his Chemical Rages pop, so we'll just think of that. But then, if you're going on the Clinks, it feels like Saksa is going to be able to do whatever he wants in these team fights by setting up the Echo Stomp. He has Force Staff. I mean, this man is another dead man.
Oh my goodness, yeah, he does end up going down there in the bottom lane. Again, you've got to make these types of plays, though, pushing out the lanes. It's pretty easy to sort of be cynical and say that, you know, this is bad play or whatever by Complexity, but I think it really is DC exerting their will and then taking advantage of the good situation they're in. And I think maybe you talked about a way to make it work. If they're able to catch a really good Moonlight Shadow and then have afterwards the instant disable from the Rubik lift, that could be one way to make it happen.
Right, or the blink stun from Limp, maybe an arrow or something, set up things, but it's hard to play when all your lanes are constantly pushed out because they push 3 times faster than you right now for DC around the map, and they have 2 Clinks. I'm talking about, you literally have 2 Clinks on the enemy teams, or just Doom can go around solo kill anybody with his Doom and a chase potential. Clinks can go around kill anybody, and then you also have the Alchemist who can go anywhere around the map, boosted travel. So Complexity's map control is going to be, sure, they might have the vision from the Hawk, but it doesn't matter at all when you have complete map control.
And again, you can see this moment here where Chessie, he has to push out that lane to try and make sure that they're not just all being pushed in at once. I mean, already top is being pushed in, but every time he does that, he also puts himself at risk. And they're actually apparently just going to run at everybody in the world. They top it out, and Swindle's looking for some more. He's going to be able to find on Nemu. They have the follow-up stun, but the Earth Splitter, it's going to be pretty big. It catches onto 2, and they've got everything coming out now. Misery up on the high ground. Oh, he did a lot of damage before they ended up breaking it. My God, Clinks with the triple, maybe gonna be able to go for more. Oh my.
And buyback status, yeah, that was like the last play of the game, pretty much.
All right, yeah, GG ends up getting called, and they realized that at that point that was one last opportunity for them. It didn't work out. DC take game number 1. A very interesting dynamic here in this best of 3. What's your thoughts moving into the second one?
That was in my opinion, that was a pretty big stomp coming in from Digital Chaos, and that was a pretty big outpick in my mind. It's not necessarily an outpick if Complexity can end the game, as